UFC Noche, presented by Riyadh Season. It makes sense to them, I guess, is coming to you from the Sphere this weekend. And there are a few fighters that are very intriguing on this card outside of the main event that features Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili, along with Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. The first one, it's always funny. I'm like, you know what? We got some fighters outside of the co-main and the main event that you need to watch for. So in the fight, the third from the top, it feels like I'm kind of playing you a little bit, but I promise we got some deeper cuts as it goes along. But I am very intrigued by this third fight on the main card as Diego Lopez takes on Brian Ortega. Lopez is a really interesting prospect. He's won 4 in a row. He had a run of 3 straight first round knockouts end with a unanimous decision win. And you can explain away he needed all 15 minutes because it was, I think, clearly the best fighter that he's fought in his career with Dan Ige. His last 2 wins are against Sadiq Youssef and Dan Ige. Those are real legitimate fighters. So yes, this is a gigantic step up in competition for Lopez as he is going up against Brian Ortega, a former title challenger in this division. But I don't think it's a step up that is unwarranted. And I am really, really interested to see what he kind of brings. I feel like this is a chance to fully solidify him as one of the next ones coming in this division. And for Ortega, he had that status for a while, and it paid off for the most part. Like, he's getting title challenges and fighting in really big fights. He just happened to fight in the time of Max Holloway and Alex Volkanovski. But I think still showed that there's something there. He had lost 3 of his last 4 before he beat Yair Rodriguez in his last bout. But those 3 were against Rodriguez, Alex Volkanovski, and Max Holloway. I would suggest to you, most human beings on Earth are losing to those 3 fighters. And most fighters are going to lose to those 3 guys. So a loss in that stretch just means you are not in the top 2 or 3 in this division. The issue is Lopez might be, in terms of talent-wise. Like, he legitimately could be that guy. And so for Ortega, this is a fight to kind of keep your spot a little bit, because we already had, like, okay, Yair, they've split now 1-1, but it does kind of feel Yair's maybe a little bit over him. You have Volka's ahead of him. You have Holloway is ahead of him. Topuria has kind of jumped the line over top of him. Well, not kind of, he's the fucking champion. But you've had these guys, and Ortega, who was at the top for a while, has just kind of ticked down a little bit each time he has fought. And now this is another guy who is looking to come and take that spot. If Ortega wants to have one more run at a championship, I'm not going to say it's a must win, because quite frankly, good looking dude, put him on a poster anytime, people are going to watch. So he has a marketability around him that helps. But in terms of legitimately being a title challenger and not just being 2 wins and a pretty face away from being a title challenger, but actually, like, talent-wise being there, I think you need this win. I think he desperately needs this win. And it is a really good kind of placement to see where is Lopez right now. And even a loss here doesn't mean that he's never going to be that guy. It just means that maybe there is a bit more seasoning and we didn't need to skip the on-ramp from between Ortega and Dan Ige. Irene Aldana taking on Norma Dumont. Aldana looking to build back up into a title fight. She lost to Amanda Nunes, but again, who wouldn't? She comes back with a win over Carol Rosa in her last bout. Her last 3 losses have come to Nunes, Holm, and Pennington. So similar to Ortega, that is no knock. Again, most people are losing to those fighters. It just means, again, you're not necessarily in that upper echelon. And I don't view Dumont as someone who is in there, but she's getting there. She's on a 4-fight winning streak. She just won her return to the bantamweight division against Germaine de Randamie. These are 2 top 10 fighters in the women's bantamweight division. And that is a division that feels very wide open right now. And so I think there is an opportunity for the winner of this fight, if they look impressive, either one of them. Aldana's 5, Dumont's 8. So, admittedly, Dumont, it would take a little bit more. But if they look really impressive, I do think that the winner of this could have a title fight as their next fight, just given how wide open this division is right now. So a really, really important fight for a couple of fighters who are working their way up in this division right now. For Dumont for the first time, and for Aldana trying to do it again after getting a title opportunity against Amanda Nunes. And the last one, the last fighter I'm looking at, and sincere apologies that I'm about to butcher this name, but Yasmin God damn it, I practiced it before. Yargui. An interesting prospect. She's won 3 of 4 in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Her only loss was a 20-second knockout, which, like, on the one hand, if I knocked someone out in 20 seconds, I would argue that nothing is more definitive than only needing 20 seconds to separate someone from their consciousness. That, especially someone who's trying to not get knocked out, like is someone who is trained specifically into not getting hit in the head so much that they get knocked out. So I would consider that a exclamation mark type of a victory. If I got knocked out in 20 seconds, I would say I was a lucky punch or kick or whatever. So you are trying to prove that is a fluke, but still, this is a 25-year-old who has 3 wins in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, 1 knockout loss, but she bounces back from that with a win. She has also before won the Combate Global 3-fight tournament, which happened in Miami. But it was an interesting tournament. It wasn't like back in the UFC tournament days where, oh, wow, they fought for 45 minutes. They were 1-round fights. It was she won 1 fight by unanimous decision after 5 minutes. So when I say, oh, wow, she won a 3-fight tournament in one night to win this tournament, let's not assume she fought for 45 minutes. I think she fought for 10 the entirety of the night. But still, a good fighter and an intriguing prospect here in this division. Going up against Ketlin Souza, former flyweight champion in Invicta. This could be an interesting moment for, we'll say, Yasmin, who I think has an opportunity here to really make a name for herself on a very interesting stage at the Sphere. Right now, she is slated in on the first portion of the prelims, which I don't know why they divide them into, like, well, this is the Fight Pass prelims, and these are the other prelims, and now this is the main event, because it's all on the same streaming service now, right? But semantics. Anyway, those are 5 fighters that I'm really, really interested in when the UFC takes over the Sphere this weekend. But as I mentioned before, the real star of the weekend is the Sphere. So I'm just so excited to see how that plays out.